Time for you to share your thoughts, and we are asking you that is 60 crore fine enough punishment for those who were involved in the death of 59 individuals in that Upahar tragedy. Remember, 18 years since the Upahar fire tragedy in Delhi, the Supreme Court says that theatre owner Sushil and Gopal Ansal will not be spending any further time in jail. The Supreme Court imposed a fine of 60 crores on the Ansal brothers. Remember, they were convicted in March last year, but a two-judge bench did not agree on a sentencing, following which the Supreme Court referred the matter to a three-judge bench. 59 people were killed when a fire broke out during a film screening, and the film was Soldier. In Upahar Cinema in 1997. A probe later found that there was no emergency lights in the theatre and the exits were blocked. Installation and maintenance of the transformer which caused the fire was done illegally. Let's first listen in to what Neelam Krishnamurthy had to say about her long battle of 2 decades.
Clearly unhappy about this. Ma'am, absolutely shocking order.
Absolutely shocking. I did not expect this from the Supreme Court. This is after the Supreme Court has found them guilty on various counts. After 3 courts, there's a concurring judgment. After that, you let them go off with a period which is already undergone. Just because they are rich and powerful, they have money. What if I had murdered Sushil Ansal's son? Do you think the court would have let me go off with 1 crore fine? Because I've given 18 years of my life. I spent less time with my children. My daughter was 17, my son was 13. I spent 18 years in the court to get justice for them. They should not have any faith because the law of the land is not the same for the poor, ordinary citizen and the rich and mighty. Rich and mighty can get all the favorable orders that they want with the money power. My lawyer couldn't even complete his argument. They hardly gave us time. They'd already made up this mind. What kind of a hearing is this? And today they didn't let us argue at all. They only heard Mr. Ramjet Malani, because he has the money, he has the face value. That's all. This is the kind of bias this bench is.
Is this really justice at last, and can this be seen as closure? Joining us on the phone line is Meenakshi Sadanand from Mumbai. Please go ahead and share your thoughts, Meenakshi.
Yeah, I was just listening to Mrs. Neelam Krishnamurthy, and I really feel bad for all the families. I was just wondering, India must be the only country wherein, when the courts sentence, they take the age of the accused more into consideration than the age of the victims. Certainly. Because this has been happening all the time, and how the rich and the mighty like Jayalalitha and Salman Khan get away, they get verdicts within a day. And this lady, I've heard her interviews, she's been taking up this case 18 years, then they convict, then for the sentencing they take another 17 months. Where is our legal system going? I'm just wondering, what do common people like us do? Where do we go?
Where should common people go? And Neelam Krishnamurthy has been waging that battle for 18 long years. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, Meenakshi. We have Satish Kumar from Lucknow. Satish, please go ahead and share your thoughts. If you could switch off your television set, we'll be able to hear you.
I want to say one thing, that it is 18 years since the tragedy occurred, and the Supreme Court has awarded a punishment of 60 crores on the Ansal brothers. If Supreme Court had sent them to jail, I think nobody would have got any benefit. Maybe some consolation for the affected parties who lost their children. But by putting a punishment of 60 crores, this money can be used for the rehabilitation of the dependents of those who have died. And that will be a better sort of consolation for them rather than sending these 2 brothers to jail. This is what I want to say.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, and we are in fact getting more details. The details are that this money would be spent by the Delhi government for welfare schemes. Sushil Ansal, remember, has spent 5 months in prison, and Gopal had spent just over 4 months. And we have more callers now. Payal Bhalla, she is a victim, and she joins us on the phone line. Payal, when you look at this verdict today that the two Ansal brothers they'll be walking out of jail with a fine of 60 crores. Is this really justice at last?
Actually, money isn't what we were after anyways. I've lost my father in this tragedy, and I was just 17 years old when this happened. I'm double my age now. I haven't had a father for the last 18 years. So it really doesn't matter how much money. They can afford it. It really doesn't matter, it doesn't matter actually. What I would like to see them is repentant, and I would like to see the fact that nobody else talks with this kind of a thing. It's been 18 years since we've been waiting for justice, and actually justice delayed is justice denied.
Justice delayed is justice denied. And Payal, in fact, we were speaking to one of the callers who had called us a short while back, and he seemed to suggest that this 60 crore money, which the Supreme Court says should be deposited with the Delhi government, which in turn will spend the money on welfare schemes, should be given to the family of the victims.
No, I think it should be used for the welfare of the country, and I wouldn't want to spend that money. It's not compensation for anybody's life. I would rather have it being spent on, building a trauma center or having more facilities in the city, or maybe, having more fire safety. That's my personal opinion. Would not want to spend that money.
Yes, and for Neelam Krishnamurthy, who has been fighting this for 18 long years, and she sounded very dejected today while she spoke to us a short while back. Do you think all those who have been fighting for justice, they would be disillusioned now?
The reason we've been fighting is not that it is going to get us anything, because, we've lost family members. So that cannot be replaced by any amount of money. The aim of that whole fight has always been that this shouldn't happen again, and people shouldn't walk away just assuming that they're very rich, that they should not be able to walk away or feel that they're above the justice system of India. That's all that we want to prove. That's all what this fight has always been about. It's not about, a personal vendetta or anything.
Certainly. Thank you so much for speaking to CNNIBN. Payal there sharing her thoughts. And we have another caller, Falgun from Bengaluru. Please go ahead.
Hello, yeah. Hello.
Yes, you are on air. Please go ahead.
The verdict what has been provided with the Supreme Court. Instead of that, they could have asked the people, that is the accused, instead of depositing them, they could have asked them to render some kind of service towards the victim. Because if you ask them to just deposit or sign, then it will not serve as an example for if any next incident which happens in the future. Then people will take it very easily or lightly.
Yes, thank you so much for speaking to CNNIBN. We have another caller, Vinay Kumar from Bengaluru as well. Please go ahead, Mr. Kumar.
I am of the opinion that in this particular case, the victims have been allowed to go scot-free, having paid a fine. I should congratulate CNNIBN for having brought out this issue. Now, what I would like to say is, even in cases where high courts have passed judgments against such people, Supreme Court has given them a reprieve. There are standing examples of Jayalalitha and many rich companies or the corporates getting away at the level of the Supreme Court. I think it is high time that every one of them, the judiciary, should give a serious thought to it, because people have lots of hopes on Supreme Court ruling, and they feel it is God's voice, because beyond that nothing can be done. This being the case, whenever judgments are passed, I think the judges have to apply their mind and pass judgments with lot of social concern. That's my opinion.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, Mr. Kumar, and we will be continuing to take your calls. Please do call us and share your thoughts. We are taking a short break now.